It's the Local Stage podcast presented by Shoemaker Guitar Works. I'm Thad Shoemaker.
I'm Trevor at the lever.
With us this week is Eugene Levy Band. Well, two-fifths of Eugene Levy Band.
Yeah, and just for all the listeners, it's just Eugene Levy. There's no band at the there's no band at the end.
We've got Cameron and Brian here, and Brian is a singer, Cameron is a guitar player, and we're gonna debut one of their songs this week and play a few other ones. So, what's going on, guys?
Not too much. I went for a run today. It felt pretty good.
Fun.
Yeah, man. Nice and brisk out. Pretty nice.
It is brisk.
Yeah.
So we were talking to Brian a little bit, Cameron, before you got here, and he's the only guy from Davenport?
Yeah.
Everybody else is from Muscatine, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome.
Drummers from Fulton, Illinois, and then bass players in North Liberty. So
Okay.
two of us are in Muscatine. So
Okay.
as far as majorities go, Muscatine wins. So.
Cool.
Right,
Cool.
right.
Very awesome. So you guys have been together for how long?
I think a little over 2 years.
2 years?
I think that sounds right.
2019 is the band's debut.
Okay.
Band's debut. So
And
2019.
Like when we started existing, because we existed before then, but we wanted to make sure we had everything ready before we went out and started playing shows or doing anything.
Very smart to do
Well,
so.
and you guys started as Eugene Levy before Cameron moved here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Cameron kind of he came to a show. Not gonna talk too much on that show, but he came to a show and then he ended up being asked to join us, and look at us now, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So you guys are debuting this new song. It's called On the Rocks. Can you tell us a little bit what stands out in this track over your older tracks?
I would say the vocals are really catchy.
I think so too.
I gotta say, this is probably my favorite of all the songs that you guys have done so far. I've got a few favorites, but this one is definitely in my top 5 of Eugene Levy songs. Probably, and then I would say this one's number 1. In fact, I had it on repeat on my playlist the other day. So,
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I dig this song. Where's the influences on this song? Where did they come from?
Influences is, nothing really different on my end. I think I'm just working outside of my norm now.
Yeah.
Anything else that you hear from us, especially from the, A Night In EP, which was the Do You Understand Life,
Right.
Living Rent Free, and then Use Your Body as a Weapon.
Right.
I did a lot of the metal, easycore, metalcore sort of riffing style.
Right.
And tried to incorporate pop punk into that, and it was a cool mix,
Yeah,
but
for
I was
sure.
just trying to figure out where we all as a band and individually kind of where we vibed, right?
Well,
so
and that's what you got to do as a band, and figure out it, but yet still have that creative freedom, between all of you to find the sound.
Yeah, and this is, I think, that, right?
Yeah,
So
I think it's exactly where we want to be right now.
Yeah.
And then what's cool about it vocally was we got rid of this, or I did. I got rid of this concept to where I had to write a pop punk melody.
Okay.
Because there's in my brain, it's ingrained because it's all I listen to is writing pop punk melodies.
Right.
But I also like hip hop. I also like a lot of rap and a lot of singing, pop music.
Mm-hmm.
Even Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift. Anyways.
guilty pleasures.
And not even guilty. I'm proud to love Taylor Swift. But
It's out there now. Yeah.
but the thing is, with this new song, it was it doesn't matter. I'm not going to put myself in a box. I'm just going to write whatever.
Right.
What was really cool is when we demoed with Sam Nelson, he kind of helped me kind of figure out where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And it was just really free and fun. And I think, the first verse, it took me 3 or 4 different verses to write that verse.
Okay.
But the chorus is the first thing that you hear in this track, right?
Right.
So it's the lo-fi effect, and it's the chorus immediately, and I think that's a big one for us that we haven't done before
Yeah.
is catch people immediately.
And I think that's what caught me about it was having that chorus right up front, and it just kind of grabs you. You know?
For a small band like us, you don't have the leisure of, let's wait 45 seconds to a minute in and then hit them with the hook.
Right.
Yeah.
People will skip you in a New York minute, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we were like, man, I don't think we can afford to do this. So let's try this formula
Yep.
and hit him with the hook immediately.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like I think Dave Grohl took it from someone else, but I remember watching him and he said, "Don't bore us, get to the chorus."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so but that's stuck to me. You know, it's like people. At least when I'm thinking songwriting wise, the verses I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
chorus has to be catchy and the chorus has to be sing-alongy.
Right.
And that's like what we did, and then I feel like putting it at the beginning, it just hooks you right away, and then once it comes back, it's already familiar. You feel like you know it, and then hopefully by the end of the song, you're singing it. you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. And then obviously there's a feature on there, right? So there's a vocal feature, which
Right.
we're super, super, super excited about. Humbled. This man, Nick Thompson, has been in the game for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And so when
And
I approached
how
him,
did you guys hook up with Nick as far as that goes?
I emailed him.
Okay.
I know a guy, I'm from St. Louis, and
Yeah.
so one of my good buddies, Tyler Cash down there, he was in a couple of bands, metalcore, and then Hard Loss, which is a kind of a pop punk emo style band that he formed up shortly after. But I'd seen him play with Nick Thompson a couple of times, just jump on stage and cover one of their songs,
Right.
one of Hit the Light songs, and that was cool. And I was like, man, how do I get a hold of this guy, Tyler? And he was like, dude, just here's his email. Just hit him on email. He's a
Nice.
super nice guy. He should reply, no question.
Yeah.
Whether he does it or not for you is a different story.
For
but
sure.
I sent him 3 demos, and he chose this one.
Okay.
Instrumentally, anyway. So
Right.
once I told Brian, I was like, Nick wants on this one. He was okay. Then
It's on.
Yeah. And like I used to cover Hit the Light songs in my bedroom when I was in like middle school.
That's
Okay.
really cool too.
And then I genuinely love Hit the Lights, and so when that's the
Love
first time
them.
I ever heard that story. By the way, Cameron, I didn't know all that.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard that.
So I sent him 3 of the first 3 demos that I did with Sam.
Yeah.
I sent him all 3 of those. And remember the demo 2 was that D beats pop punk when you really liked.
The song
He didn't
never
want to do
comes
that
out.
one.
That song
I know.
will never come out.
He didn't want on that one. He didn't want on the 3rd one, but he wanted on on the Roxas. And I couldn't believe it. I didn't feel like it fit him. I didn't
Right.
think that it fit him. And he goes, dude, let me kill this one. And I said,
Hell yeah.
okay, then we'll do our
do
thing.
it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
And he did such a good job on it.
Oh,
and,
man.
And like it's just really wild to me. Going back to that whole concept of like, I used to play their songs in my bedroom when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I bought their CDs. I bought
100%.
Skip School Start Fights because of the cover at Target. Because I'm like, oh, it's got like neon colors.
Yeah.
I like a lot of bands that have neon colors.
Right.
Not even
great.
realizing I like their first record.
Right, exactly.
And so the fact that like we have him on this song and he's in the video, which is even more crazy to me because I see my face and his face.
I was begging
You know?
him to be in the video, and I had to fork up a little,
Right.
a few more bucks. But
Right.
he's from out in South Carolina, so
Okay.
him and his videographer made it happen for us. And
Nice.
I think it just puts it all visually.
Yeah,
into
most
perspective.
definitely.
Like instead of now that you hear it, like, wow, I hear Nick. I know that that's Nick. I've
Right.
sent this song to other band buddies to hear, know, and just say, hey man, how do you like this? I like a little feedback. And everybody goes, all the band guys,
Right.
they go, that's Nick. And I was like, yeah, man, that's Nick. And so I was like,
great.
thank God that people like just know it just from his
Right.
voice. So he has set, his voice in stone
Yeah.
in the pop punk world. And I think that, not only to us, we feel like it's just huge, right?
there's
Nick Thompson's on one of our
definitely, yeah.
songs forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And then, but for other people to actually love and ride so hard for Hit the Lights, even though they've been on hiatus for a while,
Yeah.
Nick is just
Well, and I think
implanted himself.
that'll really
That's great.
open up your audience as
Without
far
question.
as that goes. You
That
know,
was the-
having him on there.
That was a plan.
Yeah,
that was
and-
planned.
And,
Trust me.
even if even if he
Yeah.
wasn't in the video, just having him singing the vocals in the song,
Still cool.
Yes.
But now people are going to click that YouTube link because Nick's in it, or
Right.
they're hoping that Nick's in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and many other cameos in the future, you know?
Cameos in the future. He's already shared the pre-save links. He shared all that from his Facebook pages.
Nice.
So Nick is now a homie of Eugene Levy, which is wild to say.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Part of the Eugene Levy family.
That's exactly right.
And another fun story about Hit the Lights actually was my best friend and I, Thomas Allen, we drove all the way out to like somewhere in Illinois. I don't remember. It was like 2 or 3 hours from like our hometown West Liberty just to see Hit the Lights.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And like we got in for free and all these things. And I remember meeting Nick Thompson and I was like, hey, like I think he thought we were from Ohio because it was like really loud, you know, in a venue.
Right.
And he goes, oh, like, so is there a song you want us to play? And I was like, I don't know, because it was off their first record that he didn't sing on but played guitar. And he was like, oh, which one? I was like, 309. And he's like, done. We'll play it. And they actually played it. And he gave a shout out to the guys from Ohio.
So what he said.
Pretty sure it was about us. But I'm not going to correct him. You know? It's like,
oh, why not, dude? You should be like, Iowa!
It was cool.
That's awesome. Well, hey, guys, without further ado, here's the debut of On the Rocks on the local stage. So check it out, guys.
But I know that we both can get through this. This isn't counterfeit. We're never gonna quit. All the bad things, I want all of it. I'll take the weight of your world, even if it crumbles. Strange and crazy, I know you will never save me. I've been messing up lately, drinking on the daily. My mind fills the room, you'll be coming home soon. Strange and crazy, I know you will never save me. This is nothing. Tell me how am I supposed to sleep with dreams you're stuck in? 'Cause I gotta find a way. Can't bring me down if I'm caving in. Will I make the same mistakes again? I'll take the weight of your world, even if it crumbles. Strange and crazy, I know you will never save me. I've been messing up lately, drinking on the daily. My mind fills the room, you'll be coming home soon. Strange and crazy, I know you will never save me. I know I'm not good for you, but you know I'm gonna follow through. I know I'm not good for you, but you know I'm gonna follow through. I know I'm no good for you. You know we'll see this through. So tell me all the things that you wanna say. Not gonna change a thing, baby. I'll just take you downtown. Strange and crazy, I know you will never save me. I've been messing up lately, drinking on the daily. Spun out in a room, overthinking about you. Strange and crazy, could you be the one to save me?
That was On the Rocks by Eugene Levy. Brand new track by these guys. That was freaking badass, fellas. As we were listening to that track, I learned something about Cameron here I did not know. I probably should have known.
You should have, yeah, but that's all right.
He was Thad's first guest.
Yeah, when I first started doing this by myself, I did like 3 shows before you joined me as co-host and producer.
Yep.
And Cameron was the very first guest, and it was one of those kind of like I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and it was kind of awkward, and Cameron just kind of took it and walked with it, and talked and did what he had to do to fill in where my stupidity was like,
I just
okay,
talked,
time,
so you know, I
next,
just
you know,
talked,
whatever.
so.
It
But we were
worked,
both
but
learning. So I think, honest to God, I think that was my or Eugene Levy's first interview.
Yeah, that was
ever.
and that's I think
awesome.
that's where we were both at. It was like, you know, I'll help you out if you help me out, kind of thing. And it was
been
like,
that way.
okay, yeah,
we've been
for
that way
sure.
since I've met you. Since,
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so whether it be getting a hold of Evertune for you,
Yeah.
or whether it was
Yep.
any of that, so
For sure.
And you hooked me up and all that stuff, and
Yeah,
now you
most definitely.
Now you got my mug on a pack of strings now. so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
In fact, they sent me the new set that are supposed to have the wound strings,
yeah.
and they didn't have wound strings. They came in with 18 planes, and so I emailed them right away, and I was
Okay.
like, "Hey, you guys, you know, these were I specifically put 18 wound on here because you didn't have 17 wound."
Right,
And
right,
they're like, "All right, we'll send them right out. They'll be out. I'll send them next day." And I'm like, "All right, as long as I
Love
got
it.
them by Friday, I can
it.
still get it done." So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and you know, now I'll be having some strings for sale with, you know, your signature strings. So
Yeah, they're
that's pretty
custom
awesome.
gauge, so
Yeah,
yeah,
for
it'll be
sure.
pretty cool for you guys that like a little heavier top, lighter bottom. You know,
yeah,
yeah. You either like them or you don't. but
yeah, and
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
So I got a question here about this next tune that we're going to play here shortly. Mick Foley. What was the deal with the shout out from Mick Foley on Mankind? Did you guys like send him the music and
We had to pay the fool.
Yeah.
We paid the dude for that.
Well, and
Did you do a cameo thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly what it was.
Okay.
we were joking about doing one, and then our bassist Nick was like, "I'm gonna do it," and it was like $75, I think.
Oh, shit.
Which is like it's pricey, but it's like some people on there are like $500.
This is the first I've heard of it, and 75 is a little steep. No, I'm playing. It was well worth it.
All I'm saying is like Mick Foley could charge $500 if he wanted to.
For
but
sure.
I think he's that much of a legend
Yeah,
in the
dude.
wrestling
Hall
world.
of Famer.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and like he sent it back like the same day. I think it was close to a
so
holiday.
he wasn't messing around.
No, not at all. Like he sent it really quick.
And went all out. Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
Oh,
my
I've seen it a few times. It's pretty
He
awesome.
put all of his masks on.
Oh, it
all
was
of
great. It was great.
No way.
Mankind. He was Mick Foley. He was Dude Love.
Cactus
What?
Jack.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
75
Well, you
bucks
can't
for
do
all that?
Cactus
Incredible.
Jack, but
It's pretty
tweeted it.
badass. You got to check
And
it
he
out.
didn't have to tweet it. He tweeted it because he liked it
He
so
chose to
much.
tweet
That's
it,
great.
and then on
Rad.
top
That's
of that,
huge.
we even had, and this is a little bit smaller, but one of my favorite wrestling promotions right now is AEW.
Yeah.
And Kip Sabian, a wrestler from AEW, commented on our YouTube like not too long ago. Like
Yeah, it
in
was
the
pretty
past
sweet,
2
too.
months.
Nice.
And it was just crazy to me to see it was circulating a little bit in the wrestling world because I just love wrestling.
Somebody put it in their damn walkout music, dude. Play Mankind in your
Yeah.
walkout
That's
music.
what I
How
want.
sweet would that be?
That
I'll
would be
quit music
awesome.
if that
That
happens.
would be awesome.
My buddy,
Don't
I
quit.
shouldn't,
Don't
I
quit, man.
shouldn't.
Don't quit.
I was trying to get my buddy to do it, but his gimmick isn't going to work.
I feel it. I feel it.
My boy Mason Reaper, shout out to him. He's going to be the next big wrestler. You should wait.
That's cool.
Nice.
I believe it. You know why? Because it's important. Because it's real to me, damn it!
That's what
Yeah.
For all you do to your body.
It's man soap operas, is what it is, man.
It's man soaps,
It's
yeah.
man soaps. That's
Oh, it's
you know.
so good.
We used to joke about that 20 years ago. We'd get together with my buddy and his dad and sit around and drink some beer, you know, in their living room and whatever, and watch man soaps, and it was freaking wrestling, you know, and it's, you know, that's just what it is. But it's cool. It's everybody knows it's fake, and who gives a shit?
doesn't
because
matter.
it's cool, you
It
know.
doesn't
One of my exes from years ago, her dad
Yeah.
was like 60 years old and wouldn't miss a Wednesday night or a Monday night, Thursday night.
Right.
It was there was a Thursday night.
There was a Thursday
and then
night.
yes, he didn't miss it. Had him not pay-per-viewed, but you know, DVR'd and whatnot.
Right,
Wouldn't
right.
miss him.
Yeah.
This old man's out here
And there's
getting after
there's
it. Loves
a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah,
out
dude.
there like that. I can remember,
yeah.
and I can remember as a
Yeah.
kid, the WrestleMania used to come around here.
Yep.
And in fact, before we had the Mark here or whatever the hell it's called now in Moline,
Tech Slayer
they used to
Center.
go to there you go.
We're trying to play there. By the way.
That'd be awesome. They used to go to
as an
Orton
opener,
Fieldhouse
by the
in
way.
Moline. and wrestle there, you know, and they'd get all the big names. I saw Hulk Hogan there as a kid, you know, and yeah, dude.
Andre
Stone
the
Cold was
Giant.
my guy growing up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I grew up in a small country town in southeast Missouri.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
dude.
was just like, look at this badass. You know what
yeah.
I mean? He just smashing beers over his head. He's chugging them. I'm like, I want to be you when I'm big.
Yep.
You know,
yeah,
so.
dude.
I actually got to jam with Hulk Hogan down in Florida when I lived down there. So that's that's my 5 minutes of wrestling fame with
That's
him.
sweet,
Yeah.
man.
Jam
He,
with him.
yeah, he's a bass player, and he would show up randomly at the open mic nights that my buddy hosted on St. Pete Beach, and he showed up with his bass one day, and I happened to be up there playing guitar, and we did some blues jam. And it was
Wow.
it was pretty badass. The
Was
one
he
guy
any
got up
good?
and played harmonica, and the
Yeah,
guy
is
who
he
hosted
good?
it was singing. Oh yeah, he's awesome.
He'll slap it, huh?
Oh yeah, he's pretty badass. But yeah, so anyway,
Wild on that
we're
bass.
kind of off topic, I guess.
No,
but
we're not. We're not, man.
But yeah, we're not. So you guys have like long ass titles to all your songs,
Yeah.
and
It changed now, though. On
I
the
know, I
rocks
was
is
gonna say
short.
that.
It's nice
I was
and
gonna
short. I
say
like
that.
that one, but
Very
so
intentional, actually.
I'm like Mankind in the way that I never said I quit.
Yep.
So
We call it Mankind.
yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys call it Mankind?
Like,
You know?
Every radio station
calls
does
it
too.
Mankind? And the thing is, the name went through so many phases too. I really wanted to put The Rock in there because it was actually The Rock versus Mankind in an I
Okay.
Quit match, and like it's a really really gruesome match. So don't watch it in front of little people's.
the tax?
No, it's the one where The Rock hits Mick Foley or Mankind over the face or in the head with a steel chair, like
Busts him open right away,
like,
right?
He does it, I swear, like in the double digits. It maybe not. It maybe might have been 8 or 9, but like. It's really gruesome. I've watched interviews on it even before we named the song, and Mick Foley was like, one time he's like, I tried to give him my back, The Rock wouldn't do it, and then I went up, he just hits me in the face again, and it's like one of the most gruesome matches that he had. Well, probably not ever, because that dude's been on some
serious
crazy
stuff,
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But that's the thing. So like the song, and I've said it before in other places, but like it's about getting back up, and I think that's the best thing because it says like for the drama in that show or on that pay-per-view, he didn't say I quit. It was a recording,
Right.
and so it's like that's what life is like, man. Because it's like I'm not gonna quit. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep fighting.
Yep.
And I think everybody needs that, you know.
Yeah, it was a feel-good song at the time,
For
and I
sure,
think
yeah.
with all the events that were going on in 2020, I think it just
Yep.
fit.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
so and hopefully people gravitated towards that. So what we're trying to do now is just be more relevant to the masses.
Yeah.
With our lyrical content.
Well,
yeah.
and the thing is, like I'm actually gonna say no.
Oh.
Because I'm in charge of the lyrics, people. Like in all honesty, it's art, right? So when you create music, it's art.
Yeah.
And all I've been trying to do is write different things, like just try something different for myself, right?
Right.
And so on the rocks, going back to that song, it was very like. What that song is really about is more funny than what people are gonna get from that song.
Okay.
Because the song, like in all honesty, it was inspired from the fact that I forget to do the dishes when before my fiance comes home, and it gets
Oh,
hard
dude,
though.
you
You know what I mean?
suck,
Like,
man.
well, the thing is, like these.
That's
things,
living life on the rocks for
I
sure.
do it all the time. I do it all the
thing is,
time.
These things pile up, right? And it's like, and then everybody gets stressed out, and it's like, oh, the dishes this time, and then like everything just adds up, and then it
Yep.
creates a problem, you know?
Yep.
And I'm thankful that like the song was inspired from this small moment, and like that's kind of where the whole thing is like I'll take the weight of your world even if it crumbles me, right? And that comes from like a partner, and that if that partner is stressing and you're like, I will take everything off your shoulders
Yeah.
just so you can breathe,
Yep.
even if it ruins me.
But what I'm telling you though, Brian, is that hits home to the masses.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Yeah.
your experiences do hit home to the masses.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no.
period.
It's
It's
guess.
relatable to every
It's-
person in the United States.
Well, and that's
really
the
is.
beauty. That's the beauty of music.
It really is. That
Isn't it?
example
Good
right
God,
there.
dude. I do the dishes every day because I know what it's going to happen if I don't.
Yeah.
Right? Every day.
And it's always the hope, is just being honest and like being vulnerable in a lyrical sense and hoping that'll connect.
For sure.
And
For sure.
the thing is, like, luckily, I think it will. I think like Mankind as well. Like I think there goes shortening the title. But I think that connected too because it's just very honest and it was about specific things in my life. But I try to keep it not so specific that it's unrelatable.
Right.
You know.
Well, and that's I think a lot of music and rock and pop punk and whatever songs are like that. They base the lyrics on things that happened in their lives or things that are happening in the world or whatever, how it affects you, and you change the story just enough to that people can still relate to that, but yet it's still personal to you.
Yeah. And then my hope as a songwriter is to not be like some of my favorite bands growing up, where they were in their 30s writing about high school.
Yeah.
Like I'm 27, about to be 28. I don't want to write about high school.
No.
Right.
Like that is so irrelevant to me now.
Yeah.
and I don't think I don't think our the Eugene Levy family I don't think they're wanting that.
Right.
Because we're all like.
What I can say though is from like when I hear the lyrics of like On the Rocks, I think a high school, like, your high school couples, right? So
Yeah.
when you're playing house, my
Yeah.
dad always used to call it that, when you're playing house.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take the weight of your world even if it crumbles me. I don't care. A high school suite, you know what I mean? The high school crowd,
yeah,
they're going to still be like, oh my God, I
they'll
would.
relate to that,
This
for
is
sure.
our song.
Yeah.
I still think
But-
that people are going to take different things
but in the
of it.
same right, a 50-year-old's going to hear that
Yeah.
and relate to it also.
100%. Yes.
And that's just what I want to do.
And that's exactly what you got to do is you got to be able to have music that relates to both sides,
I think we're doing well with this. I think we're doing really
You
well.
very much are. I agree with that.
We've turned a page with the band, I think, with these two singles,
Yeah.
I think.
With these two?
Mankind was definitely a page turner.
Sorry, my brain's thinking about the new one you guys are recording soon.
No.
That
That one's going to be hot,
that one's
too.
going to be a lot of fun too.
it's gonna be-
But yeah, essentially, like I really think lyrically we just have fun.
Man.
And that first verse, man, I really like. I can't remember it. There's a line in it. If I sang the whole verse, I would know where it is. It's gonna bother me. This isn't counterfeit. When I
Yeah.
said that,
Yeah.
I was like, I would never say this in a song. Let's do it.
Okay.
Because it reminds me of rap. That's kind of why I used it, because it was kind of playing on words. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Counterfeit,
Yep.
you know what it reminds me
Yeah.
of? Limp Bizkit, dude.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Oh God,
Yeah.
dude. I love Limp Bizkit so much.
Oh,
man.
man.
Dude, and
I
you know
wanted
what?
to be Wes
I'm
Borland
not.
so bad when I was younger.
Yeah.
That's why I play Paul Reed Smith to this day, is
Okay.
because of Wes Borland.
Really?
Let's talk about Paul Reed Smith a little bit. You
Uh-oh.
are now endorsed by Paul Reed Smith. Am I correct?
That's wild. Ain't
you
it,
are.
to hear?
You are a
It's
PR.
It's weird to
official
hear.
artist, right?
Yeah, it's weird to hear.
That is very cool, man.
It's sick.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
It's
man.
sick.
I think
For real.
that's freaking cool because like
Dude, it's been so long. You know what I mean? I've played this guitar since I was young. I mean, I had that first Korean model.
Yeah.
My dad got me. It was the Santana SE.
oh yeah,
All black. Didn't have the birds in it, but it had the nice little slashed inlays.
Yeah.
But man, when I had that, I was like, man, I got something now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then ever since then, I've been playing. Either my dad's hand-me-downs. We had a Swamp Ash at one time.
Right.
Custom 22. He had a bunch of single cuts, and that was the last guitar I played was a single cut before I stupidly sold it, and then now I'm back to playing the CE24s, which I
Yeah.
really, really, really love. They're just so versatile, and
they are. They're awesome guitars, and then you had me put the Evertunes on both of them, and that makes a huge difference in the guitars and their stability and
it's
the way they
wild
stay
too.
in tune.
It was wild that they helped me out as well
For
as an
sure.
artist. So
Yeah.
they hook me up and take care of me.
Now you can just wail on your guitar.
Yeah, it just never goes out of tune. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
We go to
That's
practice
nuts.
and everybody tunes after the song, after every song, and I'm just
Right.
like, I guess I just chill.
It's strange to me as a luthier. I mean, that's just the stuff that I do every day, you know, and having a guitar that I can literally like pick up by the strings
If
and
you
bounce
wanted
like
to,
this,
yeah.
and it would not go out of tune. You
Yeah,
know,
it's crazy, man.
And it's just nuts.
Everybody's
But,
saying what you said
yeah.
months ago is that this is probably the single most influential like guitar piece of equipment that's
Yeah.
come out in recent
for sure.
decades.
People have been
for sure.
saying it for a while when it comes to those, and I've only heard of them. And then you're like, "Oh, I'm getting those." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah,
And I've heard rumors that they're supposed to be coming out with an Evertune tremolo system, and I look.
Whoa.
If they come out with that would be the ultimate, because you know.
Well, then you can really dive bomb and it just will go right back to where it should be. You know,
and you know, so for like the hardcore metal players that want to play like Pantera,
Of course.
or you know the Van Halen style guys or whatever, that you're doing those dive bombs all the time. You want your stuff to stay in tune, so
Yeah, you can
know
feel
if they come
comfortable
up with
with that.
something like that, which I heard they are, that would be awesome. But
yeah, but I'm really excited. My gear is on point in the studio.
For
It's
sure.
on point live, and
for sure. And I like the fact that you got everything like in road cases now, to where you can just, you know, roll it out, and you know, if you guys wanted to do a performance here, if you could get everybody together, well, you could roll that stuff out and bring it in, and you know,
Yeah.
roll it right back out and to the truck and whatever, you know.
Yep.
So
yeah, we've consolidated everything now.
for sure,
the
even
guitars
your
and
guitar case, yeah. I
the
mean, you
guitar,
got-
the guitars, amps. We use all digital stuff now, so you know we don't have to use cabs if the venue
Well,
allows
and we
for
did
it.
that
Very
rig
nice.
rundown with on my channel
Yep.
with all your stuff, and you know, you kind of explained how it all works and
Yep.
everything. Yeah, you got a cool setup. But without further ado, let's check out Eugene Levy with Mankind here on the local stage.
I'll take the hit, then I'll stand up. I'll take the hit and get up and keep my name off of your tongue. If breathing was doubting the truth, it wouldn't make it past your lungs. They'll collapse as I dive back first into your recap about me. You're worth more than me. Bring it back, slow it down and run. Justify the means of every line. Doesn't matter in the first place. I drop the line when I hit the stage. My less than stellar perception confirms the ideation of the day is that I'll let it all burn. Take turns slaying me. I'll take the hit, then I'll stand up. I'll take the hit and get up and leave. I grew up getting food from churches, not a dime to my name. A systematic battle of depression was force fed to me despite the odds. We band together to break this cycle. That's how we win. That's how I'll win. Bring it back, slow it down and run. Justify the means of every line. Doesn't matter in the first place. I drop the line when I hit the stage. My less than stellar perception confirms the ideation of the day is that I'll let it all burn. Take turns slaying me. I'll take the hit, then I'll stand up. I'll take the hit and get up and leave. The view from the ground taught me that I can take every hit you give me. The view from the ground taught me that I can take every hit you give me. My less than stellar perception confirms the ideation of the day is that I'll let it all burn. Take turns slaying me. I'll take the hit, then I'll stand up. I'll take the hit and get up and leave.
I'm like Mankind in the way that I never said I quit by Eugene Levy.
Longest
How did
song
everybody
title
like it?
ever.
But that's what makes that song great, man.
It's true. It's true.
And we have Cameron and Brian here with us for the show. And they're already being pretty awesome guests. But we're going to knock these sponsors out really fast so we can get back into chatting with these guys.
For sure.
If you need ink And I'm not talking tattoos, I'm talking t-shirts. Go to eliteinkprinting.com and use checkout code LOCALSTAGE at checkout, and you'll get free shipping. Again, they have the fastest turnaround, highest quality, and did I mention free designs? And their current deal, 100 t-shirts for $4.99 a shirt. That's eliteinkprinting.com right here in Davenport, Iowa. And I also would like to mention Lobo's Salsa. Hit him up on Facebook and Instagram. Hashtag Believe the Hype.
Believe the hype.
Believe the Hype.
Yep.
You can drink pints of this salsa. It's so good. You don't even need chips. It
I
is the best salsa
I saw
ever.
somebody the other day got the pint of the Death Wish.
Oh yeah.
And I know I can barely handle the hot, but somebody got a pint of the Death Wish, and they're like, "Well, if you don't hear from me tomorrow, it's because I died from too much heat."
Yeah. Death Wish Lobo's Salsa.
Yeah, he doesn't sell that normally. Like, you have to actually contact him to get that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, because it'll kill you. So
Yeah.
if you're not careful, you get your hands on something like that. I mean,
yeah.
it may kill you.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Good for them.
Hell
Good for
yeah.
Lobos.
So, I mean, we've already been talking to you guys quite a bit now, and what I do want to point out is, I mean, you know, I've listened to a lot of your guys' stuff, and it's always super professional, really highly produced, and your guys' songs are really awesome, in my
Appreciate
opinion.
it.
It
Yeah.
brings back a lot of memories, because I don't listen to punk at all really anymore, but now I'm starting to again, because, you know, here in the regional Quad Cities, if we have a local band as good as you guys, you know, it's getting me back in that bandwagon.
Yeah.
But what I do want to point out is, you know, you guys are extremely intelligent with your game plan of handling this.
For sure.
From what I've heard Brian say about his lyrical, you know, influence, and Cameron, you're kind of, you know, you going after, you know, cameos and things like that to represent you guys and push you guys out there a little bit further. What is the, like, ultimate game plan of Eugene Levy? Are you guys just pushing as hard as you can forward, or
Right.
is there an end goal?
I just think as far as we can, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I've always talked with our guitarist Brian. It's always my job to bring him up because he doesn't like to talk all the time. So this is
He is a quiet guy.
This is the Brian shout out, not me in third person, but the other Brian.
Yeah.
But no,
It's Brian shouting out to Brian.
This is the
but-
other Brian.
But like my I guess it would be a small goal. Like all I've ever wanted to do. My first show ever was Gabe's in Iowa City. I went to a show there.
Cool.
And it's like a 300 cap venue, I think.
Yeah.
And just like that's like, I guess you would probably call it like a small goal. It's like a big goal for me to like
fill
just hit 300 cap venues and be able to play 300 cap venues and have it fill out in other states as well, because I've toured in my old band, and hopefully someday soon Levy will be able to tour. But that's like my like small goal. I don't know. But as a collective, I think our goal is to see how far we can push what we're doing. Because we're constantly doing new things, I think, to try to up, whether it's our gear game or whether it's our songwriting game. Like, we're constantly
And I think you're nailing it on all those aspects as far as that goes. And, you know, 2020, there could have been a lot more happening for you guys had we had a normal year.
Oh yeah.
But
maybe.
you know, we had
I
a really
so.
bad
I guess
year.
so, right?
I-
Because
What he did,
it's not
you
like
know.
venues were going to holler at you, right? Because
Right.
they were
I know.
closed down. So it's
Yeah.
not. That's probably true, I guess.
I would
but
also say that
this helped us, though, man. We would not have been able to put out On the Rocks.
there was a lot
We
of
just wrote the whole time.
Right.
Awesome.
Because like I remember when it all kind of went down, we had like so many shows going on. It was the most stressful
stupid.
thing ever. There was one weekend we were gonna have to drive to Chicago and drive to St. Louis
Wow.
in the same week, and it was just so much for at least for me, because I was in school still at the time.
Right.
And so what was cool about it was we were able to slow down and go, all right, well, what can we do right now?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, let's just write some good songs, right? And so Cameron went in, he demoed a bunch of stuff, and then we came out. We obviously, like, as of right now, we recorded and everything for On the Rocks. We have another song that we're about to work on that I feel really confident in, and we have like stuff we just are able to work on. And so instead of playing shows, we just built our internet base.
And you're building your song catalog.
Yeah.
Without question,
yeah.
but just not for the sake of just releasing a song.
Yeah.
Right.
Before On the Rocks was released, we were going to release a different song.
Okay.
We sat and thought about it for a month or whatever, and we were like, it just doesn't hit.
Right.
It just doesn't hit.
Yeah.
And after the response that we got from Mankind, collectively we said there's no way that we can put out anything that isn't as good as Mankind and still be a relevant band.
Yeah.
Because when we hit that, right? So I mean, things kind of started to happen once Mankind came out, right? So Cameron got the PRS deal and the Evertune deal, and like, you know, now Eugene Levy's starting to grow a little bit.
For sure.
Mick Foley's, you know, doing his thing out there for us, and AP Alternative Press magazine shouted us out, made an article on us for the top 50
cool.
pop punk bands.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
well, and you've had
now
had
we're
quite
kind
a
of
bit
being seen.
You've had quite a bit of other press too, as far as whether it's public access TV or you know, whatever. But you know, that's all. That's all exposure that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So,
right. So this is why, you know, I mean, we hate that the pandemic happened, but man, it helped Eugene Levy turn a page, because I'm not playing
with quite a few musicians as well.
And I hope so for their sake.
And the thing was, like, we didn't stop with it all. Like, we were like, what can we do? Like I said, and we figured it out.
Live stream,
like,
boom,
the
done.
Live stream, and that was one of the most stressful things ever. But it was good.
It was
sweet. A good time.
It worked
man,
out.
was that stressful. But yeah, man, like we're really fortunate because we made those connections before everything.
Right.
And we were able to utilize all those things and create just whatever, like like that live stream, putting out a new song now. Like, we don't even know what we're gonna do next. Actually, I think we do.
We're just putting everything in the back pocket. So, you know, instead of rushing to be like, oh man, I'd like, you know, On the Rocks has kind of done its thing and we don't have anything to release afterwards, you know? Nope, that'll never happen again, right? So On the Rocks was kind of fast. That was a little too quick, you know. Everybody was stressing out, trying to get the directors and all the, you know, for the video, getting a hold of Nick and having the parts done by a certain time. It was just crazy. And it stresses him out, and then he can't work. You know, if he's stressed, he can't work. He just can't, dude. And I work on high stress. I always have, and I can get through it, right? I know how to push the guys and help and just get through it. But that's why I booked the studio time for this weekend. We're releasing this song, or we've released On the Rocks Friday. We're in the studio the next day.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're not demoing. Demo time was done. His vocal demos are done. So for the most part, they're done, bro.
There's some words.
There's some words. Cool, great, right? But instrumentally, we're gonna all record it. He won't be there, but he will all record the instrumentals. You know, Saturday, done, and then. We're already ready. We're scheduling. You know, we're getting the video ideology together. Have it in our back pocket. That way, when we say, "Oh, On the Rocks has peaked." Now let's gear up for another release.
No, I love the plan, guys. I really do. And you guys took advantage of the situation with COVID happening. You know, you guys didn't just say, "Well, we can't play shows. I guess we'll just relax for a year." You guys adjusted, moved forward, and actually, like you said, Cameron, probably more productive during that time.
I grew so much as a songwriter. Brian, did I not?
Yeah, well, no, like
seriously though,
because like Cameron and I would, I think A Night In is a really good example of like a transition EP. Like
it was.
We were trying to figure out how we were gonna write together, right? And so, after we did that, it's like, all right, so everything. Now I know how Cameron writes. Cameron knows how I write.
Right.
And so then he's like, all right, well, I like you were saying earlier, you were gonna step away from like kind of like the heavier aspect of it all and kind of bring it back to like simplicity, but at the same time you also bring this unique like I don't even know what to call it, like unique rhythms within that.
It is.
Like
it's my style. Like I have a certain style and it's not just chug. That's not my style. I know how to write a song. I just do. I know the structure. I know how long an intro or a verse is supposed to be. I know what has to be dialed back. I know melodies.
And that's so
that's
part
a melody.
Of making good
I don't just write it. I want a melody because I know that he's going to destroy, and that vocal melody when it comes to life, that's what people want to hear.
Absolutely.
Very few want to hear the guitars. I mean, you're going to have some metalheads that want to hear a guitar, but this isn't for that. This band isn't that. This is for people who want to sing along and they want to feel. And
but you still put your own style and your guitar and your metal background and plus your pop punk background in that aspect.
And I think you hear that with On the Rocks, man. It sounds nothing like anything that
and I think
we're listening to tonight.
That's why it's like I told you the other day. It's my new favorite.
I couldn't believe you said that. To be honest with you, I just didn't think that you would like it.
I said that back to you in the first 5 minutes that after I listened to it.
I didn't think you'd like it. To be honest,
I love it, man. And
because he's a blues guy, you know.
I like everything.
I know you do, but it's
just say it. That's an old guy.
That's an old man, dude.
That's an old man. Come on.
I'm old too, man. Shoot. But no, that and when somebody like that says that, they really enjoyed that song, not just for the sake of saying it, like,
right.
I expect you to be, of all people, honest with me.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you if I like it or if I don't.
I mean,
so yeah.
It meant a lot. So it makes me feel like, I'm doing something right? So
absolutely.
And all the following demos that we've done after On the Rocks, they all have this same vibe and feel, and not complex but not simplistic in regards to normal punk, right?
Right.
I can't stand it. It's the most boring thing in the world to play.
He's wrong.
I'm not wrong because I play the guitar and I hate it.
Long. Yeah.
I hate it, right? I want something happening. On the Rocks, I wanted to do more chord stuff. So it's power chords with the top three.
Yeah.
The GBE. All open. Yeah. So everything's some sort of open chord.
Right.
And,
it just gives it a different vibe. It's different
but
feel.
It fills, right? So it fills this sonic space that a lot of punk misses.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I think too much on it, but that's how I write.
I agree. I agree. You're doing your thing with it, and that's what it's all about. You guys aren't trying to copy anybody.
We don't sound like anybody else.
No, you're trying to be yourselves and still be Eugene Levy, So, I just got news from Trev that we got to take a little short break. So let's take a little break and pay our sponsors. And
right after this,
right after we play "Do You Understand Life?"
No. We're gonna jump in "Do You Understand Life" right out of the break.
Okay.
So everybody, stick with us. We've got Cameron and Brian here from Eugene Levy, right here on the local stage.
If you're looking to blast off the best scent of 2020, look no further than Lee Pingle's Sweet Nectar Musk. This cologne will scent you up and make you smell like you've been living in a porta potty at Eldora Speedway for a whole week. Forget the urinal cakes. Lee Pingle's Sweet Nectar Musk will get the job done. Waltz proudly into any West End bar and expect the ladies to be a flockin'. Lee, how do you do it?
Well, I just come into the factory about twice a week, and they hook my tits up to the milkers, and they get all my nectar out. Yeah, I'm making a couple bucks.
It's Lee Pingle's Sweet Nectar Musk, exclusively at Walmart.
Shout out to our sponsor, Lobo's Salsa. Lobo can be found on Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Lobo's Salsa or #BelieveTheHype. Lobo's Salsa is available all around the Quad Cities, and if he likes you, he might even deliver it to you. Check out Lobo's Salsa on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, do you have a business or a band per se that needs some merch? Well, I've got your people. Go to Elite Ink Printing. Nowhere else can they give you the best deals, fastest shipping, highest quality, and above all else, they're based right here in Davenport, Iowa. We are currently working with them, and if you use the promo code LOCALSTAGE at your checkout from EliteInkPrinting.com, you will get free shipping. That might not be advantageous for some of you right here in the Quad Cities, but if you're listening from far, far away and you have a big t-shirt order, that's a really good deal. Again, that's Elite Ink Printing right here in Davenport, Iowa. They're currently running amazing deals, and I'm telling you, it's the highest quality, best pricing, and fastest shipping you will see in the t-shirt business. So get on it. Again, use checkout code LOCALSTAGE, and they will hook you up.
If you need the rush for 2021, search no further than Lee Pingle's Turbo Dogs. We fused the jack-charged energy from the leading energy drinks into a classic gas station hot dog. Don't waste time eating and drinking to get your morning going. Choke down a Lee Pingle Turbo Dog, and you'll have enough energy to compete with the top crackheads out of the Quad Cities. Kick the fatigue with Turbo Dogs. Packed with hogs, sugar, glucose, citric acid, taurine, sodium citrate, caffeine, caramel color, glucuronolactone, sorbic acid, niacinamide, inositol, L-carnitine, guarana seed extract, milk thistle extract, Panax ginseng, and hog cocks. Lee, where'd you get the idea? Well, I'm a big fan of roller grill items, and I hate walking to the cooler to grab an energy drink. So I had my R&D department create these turbo dogs. I usually choke them down. No bun, one bite. It's Lee Pinkle's Turbo Dogs! Grab one at Murphy, USA!
Hello, I'm Eugene Levy, and yes, I'm an actor. No, I said cappuccino. I'm here to talk to you about something very important. No, it's not about me or my career. I'm here to talk about subliminal messages in rock and roll music, or as it's simply known in some cultures, rock music.
I wanna spend a night in sipping beer, taking oxygen from this stress. I confess I'm a mess. Can we define success for me? It means I'm the happiest when I let go of all these thoughts in my head. Hang with friends till tomorrow. I wanna spend a night in sipping beer, taking oxygen from this stress. I wanna live my life the only way I know how. Get drunk, pass out with my friends on the couch. What else is there for us to do now? Life is short, and so is my time left here. As I grab another beer, with these moments I have left now. I wanna fall in love, kiss in the rain. Growing old with you is everything. Or we can die young, solidify where you that we have left in empty bottles around. Let go of all these thoughts in my head. Hang with friends till tomorrow. I wanna spend a night in sipping beer, taking oxygen from this stress. I wanna live my life the only way I know how. Get drunk, pass out with my friends on the couch. What else is there for us to do now? Life is short, and so is my time left here. As I grab another beer, with these moments I have left now. Living life the only way that we know that we can. No context, no plan, getting drunk every weekend. Hanging out with my best friends, hope the party never ends. We'll just keep on drinking till 5 a.m. Come fill my cup, if you got me fucked up. If you're feeling how I'm feeling, better put your hands up. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. I got everybody that I need just right beside me. Show up to the party, 5 a.m. and Eugene Levy throwing back some Bacardi, switch it up with some whiskey light. Fill my cup, up me up, let's do this night right. Fill my cup, up me up, let's do this night right. Let go of all these thoughts in my head. Hang with friends till tomorrow. Let go of all these thoughts in my head. Hang with friends till tomorrow. I wanna live my life the only way I know how. Get drunk, pass out with my friends on the couch. What else is there for us to do now? I wanna spend a night in sipping beer, taking oxygen from this stress.
That was Do You Understand Life by Eugene Levy. With us this week, if you're just tuning in, is Cameron and Brian. And tell us a little bit about that song, because that was off your last EP, right?
Yeah.
So
That was my more rock song.
Yeah.
You love it?
I love it.
Dude, that's my favorite song other than Use Your Body as a Weapon.
Okay.
But it was a very rock. It's a very na 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 na.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very
yeah.
rock. It's a drop D. It's not D flat or
Right.
C sharp. It was just a very rock song, and I couldn't believe that we made it as pop punk as it was.
Well, yeah.
It was rad, dude. I love that song. I love playing
Brian,
it live.
why are you geeking out over there, dude?
I just laugh at that song because of the title.
Yeah, he's all about these titles.
Because my
It's from a movie
my
or something.
favorite thing to do is name songs things that are like it's got to have a shred of what the song is about.
Okay.
And so like On the Rocks, you never hear that in the song.
Right.
But it's exactly what the song is about, and that's what I like to do.
I do like that.
So like, do you understand life? Which actually, my fiance came up with that one.
That's
we were in
Okay.
the car, and I was like, "Give me 3 words that mean a relationship that just is like kind of like not going super well." Just like, On the Rocks. I was like, "That is the greatest title. Let's go."
Shout out Barry.
Yeah, she's way
That's
she's way
awesome.
smarter and cooler than me. But no. So do you understand life? That title came from a movie called The Room.
Okay.
It's one of the worst movies of all time, and I love it. It's just a good time. Go watch it. If just have beer while you watch it, it makes it a lot better.
One of those movies.
But like, I think it's a good song because we got to feature our friend Sam, who's actually the guy we demo with now.
Right.
And like, it was kind of the beginning of like where we're going with this new one, like vocally. Like I took I tried something new in that break, where I tried to do something kind of more poppy and see if I could do it.
Right.
And I think it worked well.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so I was stoked when that I love that song.
I love the guitar riffs in that song.
Yeah.
That's what, to me, what makes that song. But I'm a guitar guy, so
Right.
I don't always listen to the lyrics as much as I do, paying attention to the riffs and.
I just love the slide down
slide
part.
down.
Yeah.
I do too, and so that's what did it for me with that song. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys actually picked these 4 songs because these are like probably 4 of my 5 favorite Levy songs. That
Is the other one Every Band Needs a Rivas?
Yes.
I figured.
Yes.
So.
Can't forget that one.
Can't, man. It's a good one, right? So it's a good
Yeah,
one.
and
Before
then-
I got in here, it was one of their better songs that they
Yeah.
had. It was probably my favorite one to play. Yeah, it was my favorite one to play live at first. So yeah, I mean, that's a really good song. There's nothing to be taken away from the first EP that Eugene Levy came out with by any means. You know what I mean?
And like you said, you guys are kind of moving past that, and if I were going to pick that would have been one of the songs that would have been on my list. But I wanted you to go ahead and try and pick and see what you came up with. So.
Yeah. I mean, these are just they're newer, right?
Yeah.
So they're the newer ones, and the first
And it's all
episode
stuff
we
that you've
already
been
did.
part of.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but also the first I figured, shoot, dude, people have heard this, right? So I've done this, I've done this local stage before. We've done that. So let's cover the 2 that we didn't do, and then I'm just gonna pop these ones on there because they're from
For sure.
Yeah, man.
A Night In.
No, that's a awesome list right there. And what we were talking about during the song is, you guys try to be unique in what you play. And, melodic bass licks and all that.
Sure, yeah.
So, kind of describe, Cameron, what we were talking about before, not the same old cookie cutter genre of music.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be categorized in the genre of pop punk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I don't play punk, right? It's just it's weird to say, right? So to be in the genre of pop punk, it's just clicking inside of Spotify or the DistroKid or whatever your thing is to that's really all it is. But to the kids out there and the genre lovers, and the people who are so gung ho about, well, that ain't pop punk, the naysayers.
I would go as far as say genres don't matter anymore.
They don't matter
dude.
anymore.
They don't.
Good point.
And that's
Great
why we
point.
don't care. I mean, we don't care. We know what we want to sound like, and we just write what we want to hear, and we write what we like to play.
And that's the thing. Like, it's not like we're trying to be unique or anything at all.
Yeah.
I think we're just trying to create whatever feels right.
Right.
That's
and we're
important.
letting in all those influences from everywhere to create that.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's unique, that's exciting because I've never heard anyone actually say that about anything I've done.
Right.
But like the whole goal is just to write what we like and what we want to listen to.
Yeah,
And-
that's such a great point, dude. You took the word. I mean, you defined that a little bit better than I did going into that question.
And I think that being unique and doing something that nobody else is really doing, right? I mean, we're not like, this isn't a new genre that nobody's ever heard of before. It's not like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying, we're not doing, oh God, Machine Gun Kelly just came out with a
That is the greatest record last year.
and that's great. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of guys that are like, well, he made it blow up. We need to be like, we need to start playing stuff like that.
Right. No, I understand.
I don't care. If this Eugene Levy stuff blows up, it blew up because it stood on its own 2 feet.
Yep,
exactly,
so
man.
It's a pride thing for me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever have a YouTube video made about me, and I've watched a lot of them. About riff stealing.
Hey.
Yeah.
There's your YouTube video right there.
Well, I don't want to be on a YouTube video where somebody, puts the side by side of the songs and say, "Oh, that riff stolen from this."
Oh, I got you.
Have you ever seen those?
I have, dude. Yeah.
Okay. No way.
Been created, man.
It has, but I'll tell you what. Find this chord.
Never. I like it's just write whatever.
I know.
And if it sounds like something else, at this point,
Screw it.
But it's in my head. I can't even put it down.
As long as you're not intentionally going, I'm going to take this song and I'm going to say it's mine.
Yeah. Find that chord progression and the exact fifths and stuff that I use on the Rocks on another song. I want somebody to make a video about that.
Dude, dude, it is made. It is a pop structure.
Find it then, dude. Find it, man. I want you to. This will be awesome. You're gonna make me cry if you do.
I will. Because maybe not the same. The same progression.
The same chords might have been used, but in a different progression.
Sure. That's cool, right.
Or and that's the thing. There's only 7 major chords out there.
That's true.
To deal with, and then they're minors and whatever. But
we should make some new ones.
Oh,
like
wow.
Q flat.
You ever heard?
Q flat, dude. I like that.
You guys ever thought about making new chords?
I haven't.
Come on,
now
man.
I will.
Come on.
I'm at the point now where you can tell me any chord, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a chord. I don't know what chords are.
Yeah,
right?
I play guitar, and I'm like, this is a power chord. All right, we're good.
Yeah, that's all you need to know, man.
It really is to make music.
Yeah, but dude, you guys have been phenomenal guests. Like, I'm really stoked about this show. I appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.
And I consider you guys even more badass for after this interview because it kind of brought everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
really
all full circle.
Were you like wondering?
I was wondering.
What were you wondering? Like, whenever you listen to it, you're like, well, who in the hell are these guys?
Well,
I know, but I'm just
from doing the show. Doing the show,
yeah.
There's certain local bands in the area that we play on the show, and it's like, okay, those guys are all right. But then there's a handful of them, and you guys are in this group, in my opinion, of bands in the area that are like, okay, there's potential here for these guys to break out of the Quad Cities
and do outstanding
and do
things.
real stuff. Have an awesome story there. And I was excited to meet you guys just from that because I'm a fan of the band. Is where I was going.
That's cool.
So to actually be able to talk with you guys, and ask you real questions because I'm curious.
We still look at ourselves as crap, everybody calls a crappy local band, right? You know what I mean? And Brian's a big advocate of that. He won't break out of that.
I'm a stomper.
He does.
Stomp any kind of logic that tries to put us above anybody, man.
Well, it's not about being above anybody, but we do have to be proud of what we created.
Exactly.
Like how we go about our business in Eugene Levy, boy.
Yeah.
We put our hearts into this thing, man, and I think it shows, and we should pat ourselves on the back for something. Like, so thanks for saying that because it does make things into put things into perspective for us.
It definitely
grounds us a little bit. Like, wow, man. Well, I guess we should keep doing music. You know what I mean?
Like we were talking at the break about Allborn and how
Dude,
they're one of the local
man.
bands that are doing something very similar to what you guys are doing. And through COVID, through the whole pandemic
they made it work.
They were working. They were making music. They were writing. They were doing this and that. They were going to the studio, and that's exactly what you guys were doing. Mm-hmm. And 2 totally different types of music. But
the same fire.
But the same fire, exactly. And that's what you got to have if you're going to make it in this world. And so kudos to all you guys for doing that. But you're essentially right, Trevor. There's great bands that we get, and there's okay bands,
good bands and great bands.
There's good bands and great bands, and you can tell when we get the music like how great this band is, or how great this band is going to do, just by the first 2 songs that we hear from you guys, or whatever, and then the drive behind you as far as like watching you guys on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and seeing how much you're promoting yourself and what's going on.
How about this whole week? How about this whole week going up to On the Rocks release?
For
right?
sure.
How the strategy's been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes
the
into
T-shirts
that,
and the promotion for that.
We
and all
pay
that
a meal.
stuff.
We pay a guy for that. We pay a meal to run all that for us. We don't do nothing
because it's difficult.
It's hard. You got to know algorithms.
Yeah. T-shirts are not coming again.
Yeah. You got till April 30th.
That was my idea too.
It was, and I hated it,
like,
but it's kind of sweet.
Yeah,
it is sweet, dude.
All right, Cameron and Brian, I'm going to give you guys a quick opportunity to basically do a shout out of what you guys have going on this week.
Love it.
Keep in mind again, we're airing Sunday night at 8. So just let everybody know where they can get the shirts, everything else.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the On the Rocks limited edition, exclusive, one-time only T-shirts, right? So these T-shirts are, it's got the name on the front pocket, and then on the back it's got the single artwork with the lyrics for the pre-chorus.
Done by Kaylin Shalane.
Yeah, so shout out to her. It was fantastic artwork. I think it all worked out great.
Yeah,
and it's a hell of a shirt.
I think it's a cool design.
And just we're not just doing shirts just to do shirts. Right. Every sale helps us keep doing what we're doing. So if you like what Eugene Levy's doing, you like what we represent, you like the drive that we have, and you guys want to be behind something like that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
Help us and buy merch. That's the best way to do it.
And if you're unable to do that, simply a stream does wonders.
And, yep.
And just by streaming Eugene Levy, you get to be in the Eugene Levy family.
That's right.
And we got your back just like you got ours.
Yeah, so like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. We're on TikTok, YouTube. So please watch the video on YouTube.
And we'll have all the links posted for the under the show.
You guys are great for that.
Else, I believe it's Eugene Levy Band for everything.
Okay, Eugene Levy Band,
right? Because otherwise people would just go to
otherwise people would think it's Caterpillar eyebrows.
Do you guys have a website?
EugeneLevyBand.com.
EugeneLevyBand.com.
Yep.
All right,
and there it'll go. There's links to all of our socials, our merch site.
Okay.
And don't hit us up for cash sales on any of our merch. It all goes through Shopify. So it's all being watched and run by our merch company and us. And so other than that, all that stuff helps. So
great.
We're playing the Battle of the Bands in Cedar Rapids on April 24th.
Nice.
If you guys are, have nothing going on or, itching to come back and see some live music, which is, perfectly social distance and it's promoted as such. Come on out, support us. It's for $1,000.
Hell yeah.
So that's going to help us, further on and, recording and
how many bands are going to be there?
10.
10, okay.
Including us. So it's 9 plus us.
9 other bands, yep.
So
all right,
that's it.
You guys, again, awesome interview. Thank you so much for coming in. Cameron and Brian, nice to meet you guys. I am Trevor at the Lever.
I'm Thad Shoemaker.
Thank you for joining us for the local stage. See ya.
Never stray far from this from afar. Won't stop till the cops come. We're too old to act dumb. And I said, anyway, you can say honestly. Watch how easy living can be. My dream house has my friends next door. It's within walking distance of a liquor store. My friends can't say rent free, 'cause every day is a party and every night I get some sleep. When I get a crib, we chillin', spinning all of this we winning. I don't have the time for this nonsense. my friends next door. It's weird.